मैं आपका एक इंटरव्यू देख रहा था, जैसे मैंने आपसे जिक्र किया तबस्सुम जी का,
ओह गॉड, तो कितने बहुत मे हर सोल रेस्ट ऑफ पीस, लवली लेडी। या
ये जिद कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट रही है आपकी कामयाबी में अनिल जी?
जिद नहीं है, मुझे लगता है कि ये मेरा पैशन है, मेरा प्यार है इस प्रोफेशन के लिए, एक्टिंग के लिए।
जब आप रणबीर को देखते हैं एनिमल में, और वही इज्जत वही शिद्दत आपके लिए है एज अ फादर, सो डू यू ड्रॉ एनी पैरेलल्स?
Because you see this interview I'm doing before the release of the film, so I think people should wait and watch the film, and then we can do another interview after the release of the film, and then I'll really
Would love to
disclose. But whatever you've seen in the trailer, people have loved it.
एडवांस बुकिंग तो आई थिंक बाहुबली 2 और KGF 2 और जवान पठान उस लेवल की हो चुकी है।
You have the right content, you have the right casting, and the product appeals to the people, and that's what has happened.
अनिल जी, जो ओपनिंग जो सीक्वेंस है प्रोमो का, what sort of response have you been receiving on that particular scene?
It's gone beyond my expectations.
आप रणबीर के आप जर्नी को कैसे देखते हैं सावरिया से एनिमल तक?
When I feel something, I say it very honestly about, I don't want to repeat, I don't want to say things which personally I have spoken to Shah Rukh or Salman.
You also said that Bobby Deol will be a superstar after Animal. Why do you say that?
Bobby, I'll tell you what, there is something about Dharamji, there is something about Sunny.
After watching this trailer, I can't imagine Anil sir doing such a serious character with such dedication.
अच्छा, अभी Animal और Fighter के बाद I think I should do a comedy.
Like a no entry sequel?
I don't want to say anything till they really start, because
Father and son relationship is the most underrated relationship in the world.
Well, for cinema, for Indian cinema, it's been fantastic,
Anil Kapoor, Ranbir Kapoor, Bobby Deol, Sandeep Venga, super hit director, brilliant actors, good music. This movie gives so much chills.
Yeah, fingers crossed, 1st December. Ready, sir?
Alright. जो चाहती दुनिया है वो इनसे नहीं होगा, जो चाहती दुनिया है वो इनसे नहीं होगा, समझौता कोई ख्वाब के बदले नहीं होगा। आज मेरे साथ में एक ऐसी हस्ती हैं जो मुझको बहुत इंस्पायर करती हैं, हिंदुस्तान के हर शख्स को इंस्पायर करती हैं और दुनिया के हर इंसान को इंस्पायर करते हैं। आप समझ ही चुके होंगे कि अनिल कपूर साहब, एनिमल का ट्रेलर धमाकेदार है और अनिल कपूर साहब हैज़ हैड अ फैंटास्टिक 2023 और मेरी खुशनसीबी है कि आज वो मेरे साथ में हैं। अनिल सर, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका एंड वेलकम ऑन कनेक्ट FM कैनेडा।
थैंक यू सो मच यार, it's been long since I met you personally, but this is as good as being in person.
No, thank you so much अनिल सर। एंड अनिल सर, मैं आपका एक इंटरव्यू देख रहा था, जैसे मैंने आपसे जिक्र किया तबस्सुम जी का, और उसमें आपने कहा कि मुझे तो ये यकीन नहीं था कि मैं हीरो बन पाऊंगा।
तबस्सुम जी का, ओह गॉड, तो कितने बहुत, मे हर सोल रेस्ट ऑफ पीस, लवली लेडी। या
किसी ने आपसे कहा कि तुम स्टार नहीं बन पाओगे, और आपके अंदर एक जिद है कि अगर कोई आपसे कहता है कि ये तुम नहीं कर सकते तो आप फिर ठान लेते हैं उसको करने के लिए। ये जिद कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट रही है आपकी कामयाबी में अनिल जी?
आई थिंक जिद नहीं है, मुझे लगता है कि ये मेरा पैशन है, मेरा प्यार है इस प्रोफेशन के लिए, एक्टिंग के लिए। तो व्हेन यू लव समथिंग एंड एंड यू डू समथिंग वेरी पैशनेटली एंड यू लाइक हॉर्स विद द ब्लिंकर्स ऑन, दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज। सो उसको जिद समझ लो, उसे लव समझ लो, प्यार काम के लिए, एक्टिंग के लिए, या पैशन समझ लो।
ऑलराइट। उस इंटरव्यू में एक और भी बात का जिक्र हुआ, साहिब के बारे में जिक्र हुआ, और आपसे तबस्सुम जी ने कहा था कि वो मे बी आपका फाइनेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस है तब तक का, और फिर आपने जिक्र किया कि उसमें जो फादर सन का जो एक रिलेशनशिप है वो बहुत ही अपील आपको करता है, और उसके अलावा आपके फादर के साथ में आपका जो रिश्ता था कि दैट यू ऑलवेज वांटेड टू मेक योर फादर हैप्पी एंड यू लुक्ड अप टू हिम। मैंने जब वो इंटरव्यू मैंने देखा, और फिर जब एनिमल का मैंने ट्रेलर के बारे में मैंने सोचा, तो आई थॉट कि दैट देयर इज सच अ वंडरफुल एनालॉजी ओवर देयर। आपने सोचा इसके बारे में?
नहीं, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर रिकिंडलिंग मेमोरी। साहिब मेरी बहुत ही दिल के करीब फिल्म है, और उसमें 2-3 सीन जो थे मेरे पिताजी के साथ, और स्पेशली एक सीन है जो एक डॉक्टर के साथ है, व्हेन क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली मेरा और उत्पल जी मेरे फादर का रोल कर रहे थे उसमें, एंड द कैरेक्टर्स ऑब्वियसली कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट from what Ranveer is doing and what I had done in Sahib, but it's one of the iconic characters. इतना iconic हो गया था वो role और वो film और वो कहानी कि वो बंगाली में बनी, हिंदी में बनी और साउथ में भी मेरे ख्याल से चिरंजीवी साहब ने वो रोल किया था. तो वो दैट्स वन ऑफ माय फेवरेट सीन्स जहाँ वो अपनी किडनी सैक्रिफाइस करता है अपने फादर के लिए. And he's supposed to be a no good son, and ultimately he turns out to in a joint family where everybody feels कि इससे कुछ नहीं होगा, and ultimately he is the one who really he wants to become a football player. गोली का रोल था उसमें, and football के करियर के लिए, स्पोर्ट्स के करियर के लिए किडनी कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है, और वो सबसे जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है, क्योंकि he has to be physically fit. And sacrificing his kidney for his father was very, the film was very nicely done. The performances were pitch perfect. Everybody were done very well, and Rakhi ji was there, and Utpal ji is a phenomenal actor. I really miss him, one of the greatest actors, from Bengali theatre, and then he did a lot of films in Bengali and Hindi. I miss him so much. And I had the honor to work with him and learn so much from him. How how he was so, Ashok Kumar Sahab, Utpal ji, they were very so natural actors, Motilal ji. So I have tried my best to be, follow them and try to be as real as possible, and making the scenes as conversational as possible. And these are the actors I really looked up to. And Sahib is definitely a film which is up there in one of my favorite films, yeah.
राइट. एंड जब आप रणबीर को देखते हैं एनिमल में, और वही इज्जत वही शिद्दत आपके लिए है एज अ फादर, सो डू यू ड्रॉ एनी पैरेलल्स?
Because you see this interview I'm doing before the release of the film, so I think people should wait and watch the film, and then we can do another interview after the release of the film, and then I'll really disclose. But whatever you've seen in the trailer, people have loved it, and the teaser and whatever pieces which have come out. So I just want to leave it like that, and so that people go and see the film and judge the film, and you judge the film, and what do you feel you take from that film, and about my character as well as Ranveer's character, and as well as all the other characters, like Bobby and everybody else. Yeah.
And Anil sir, Animal is having the sort of advanced booking and the sort of buzz जो मुझे लगता है कि फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में बहुत ही रेयरली इस किस्म का एक्साइटमेंट किसी भी फिल्म के लिए होता है. एडवांस बुकिंग तो आई थिंक बाहुबली 2 और KGF 2 और जवान पठान उस लेवल की हो चुकी है. How do you look at this tremendous excitement for the film?
You see, I think I was speaking to my son last night, and he said a very good thing,
Right.
and which was really, sometimes it doesn't happen to, I'm very fortunate that it is happening to me again, these kind of things, and in your career, these things happening so many times is you have to be blessed, that there is a film which is releasing and the whole country wants to see it. And it has happened to me earlier, and not only nationally but internationally also, where a product, a film, and an ensemble, a story, a filmmaker, like Sandeep Reddy Gwanga, or all the other filmmakers like I worked with N. Chandra, Subhash Ghai Saab, and Vinod Chopra, Danny Boyle. Sometimes what happens is they make something which is so powerful, and somewhere it connects. Sorry if I missed out any of the filmmakers, because I've worked with so many of them. All the actors, right person, right casting. And I was mentioning this in my interview in Hyderabad also, in the press conference, that the way the casting has been done in this film, and hats off to Sandeep that he has, he gave me that he chose Ranveer, he chose me, he chose Bobby, he chose not only Rashmika, and including Prem Chopra Saab, Shakti Kapoor, Suresh Oberoi Saab, and the other, all the other actors also who are part of this film. Every casting is done extremely well, really well, and it's really, I think that's what happens. You have the right content, you have the right casting, and the product appeals to the people, and that's what has happened. And
Right.
Yeah, that's what has happened, and I think that's what has connected, to the kind of buzz it has created. Yeah.
राइट एंड अनिल जी जो ओपनिंग जो सीक्वेंस है प्रोमो का मैंने इनफैक्ट ट्वीट भी किया था कि दैट मैंने इस तरीके का आई थिंक डायलॉग मतलब जो इंटरेक्शन बिटवीन टू एक्टर्स आई डोंट थिंक आई एवर सीन एनीथिंग लाइक दैट एंड सो पावरफुल एंड आई थिंक एनीवन हु अंडरस्टैंड सिनेमा would be easily able to gauge कि उसका सिनेमा हॉल में क्या रिएक्शन होगा and how the cinema halls are going to erupt on that particular scene and the dialogue. What sort of response have you been receiving on that particular scene?
Well, it's been overwhelming, to be honest with you. It's overwhelming. It's gone beyond my expectations. I never knew that, there will be so much of a reaction to the father-son kind of reaction. People are identifying, and especially with the the youngsters all over the country. Like I'm seeing the memes which are which are coming out about all the scenes, and also I can see that somewhere I think there is a certain kind of there's a certain kind of anger in this society at the moment. And sometimes you create a protagonist, which is Ranbir's role, which somewhere goes and
Correct.
connects with the younger, and I think that's what has happened, and then when you have the kind of an actors which surround the protagonist and make the make the whole storytelling even more exciting with the right casting, and then you can see the result. That's what has happened, and we all are really, I think all of us, Ranbir, Bobby, everybody, me, we all are very fortunate to get this kind of buzz before the release of a film. For a film, it's something. Somewhere I feel this happening itself is very heartening for the film industry, for the theatrical audience, because we want people to go to the theaters to see the films. Yeah.
Absolutely. Anil sir, I was also thinking about Savaria trailer launch. I still remember you were present at Savaria trailer launch. You spoke to the media after the trailer launch as well. It was Sonam's first film, Ranbir's first film. आप रणबीर के आप जर्नी को कैसे देखते हैं सावरिया से एनिमल तक?
I have a certain kind of a, I don't know, I might say, because I have started my career as a casting director. In Hum Panch, I was a casting director. So I have a certain instinct for faces and actors, I feel. I'm very proud of that. So मैंने सावरिया देखा और I just said, and you can see all my interviews and the kind of, I said, in the Kapoor family there's a tall Raj Kapoor, a taller Raj Kapoor. That's what I said, I think almost 16 years back. And I've said that when I saw Ritik's Fiza, and I told him the same thing, Sorry, I'm not trying to take any, I'm being very humbly, I'm saying that, but now that I'm recollect, I said, Ritik, next 25 साल तक तेरे को कोई हिला नहीं सकता. I saw Khalid Saab had directed the film, and I came out and I told him that. And so these are the things which, when I feel something, I say it very honestly about, and I don't want to repeat, I don't want to say things which personally I have spoken to Shah Rukh or Salman, they all have come out true, Really seriously, honestly.
Absolutely. And यूसुफ साहब, राज कपूर साहब एंड चार्ली चैपलिन, ये तीन एक्टर्स को आप बहुत मानते हैं, तो अगर आप राज कपूर साहब से कंपेयर कर रहे हैं रणबीर को, आई थिंक तो ये दैट्स अ ह्यूज कॉम्प्लीमेंट फॉर हिम बिकॉज यू हैव आइडलाइज्ड राज कपूर साहब इन अ बिग वे.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, and you can see the inspiration in so many of my films, like Mr. India, you'll see Beta, Ishwar, Kishan Kanhaiya, and you'll see that there is a lot of Chaplin, there's a lot of Raj Kapoor Saab, and so obviously you have to, because India as a, as a country is very diverse, and we react very differently emotionally compared to the international actors. So for me, like for example, when I was doing Balbir, for me, my inspiration for this film was Shivaji Ganeshan Saab, Dilip Kumar Saab, you know, the films. So when I am performing, I'm thinking, I said, will I be able to get that kind of wetness, that kind of emotion, you know, in my characters, in this character, Balbir Singh. So, you know, because, you know, sometimes better to have the reference of Indian greats, because, you know, we emotionally are slightly little more wet from inside, more emotional. Our pitching is slightly more intense, you know. We can be international and understated. I always say that's not, it's not that we can't do it, but sometimes because we have to certain extent, be true to our culture and to our value system and how we feel towards friendship, towards family, towards children, towards our wives, towards everybody and anybody, you know. Yeah, so that's the way that's the kind of work we try to do, and try to raise the bar constantly, you know, to make it better and better.
Of course. And so you were there at the pre-release event in Hyderabad. You also said that Bobby Deol will be a superstar after Animal. Why do you say that?
You know, Bobby, I'll tell you what, you know, there is something about Dharamji, there is something about Sunny, there is something about Bobby which is so endearing, you know, and I think that's the reason, you know, as a family, you know, everybody becomes, you know, it started with Dharamji and now Sunny and Bobby. They're such lovable people and so emotional and so Indian and so much from Punjab, you know, and I can connect with them. So you just want to wish them well, you know. You just want them, you know, to be as successful and as now the next generation of the Deol family is going to come. Sunny's children, Bobby's children. So I'm looking forward to their journey also. Yeah.
As I mentioned to you in the beginning, I've always looked up to you for being a huge inspirational figure. मैंने आपसे पहले भी इसके बारे में कहा है. You know, you're sprinting. Whenever I think I receive those sprinting videos of yours, I'm like, you know, this is absolutely amazing. You always maintain that age is just a number. Anil sir, इंसान की thinking कितनी important है to defy the societal norms. जो कहा जाता है कि आपको इस स्टेज में लाइफ के बाद आपको ये करना चाहिए, उसके बाद फिर आपको ये करना चाहिए, उसके बाद आपको ये करना चाहिए. You defy those norms beautifully and inspire other people. Thinking कितनी important है in your success, in your happiness. You are a happy person, most importantly.
Thank you. You know, for me that's very important at this stage of my life, you know, because my priorities have changed now, you know, in terms of what I really want. Yeah, of course, I love acting, and I'm very passionate about it because, you know, I want to act till I can and till the time people want to see me. But otherwise, my priorities are different now, you know, to a certain extent. Yeah. So for that, my thinking has changed, and it keeps on changing from time to time.
Right. Like for example, I'm a huge fan of yours. There are a lot of people who look up to you, follow your work. तो हमें ये पता होता है कि अगर अनिल सर ने कोई किरदार को एक्सेप्ट किया है तो उन्होंने इस वजह से नहीं किया होगा कि कोई किसी का बेटा है, किसी का फ्रेंड है.
नहीं,
you always made it clear that there has to be some meat in the role for you to accept it.
No, ये गलत बात है. ये बिल्कुल सही नहीं है. I've done a lot of films, sometimes characters and films, and for various reasons which I don't want to disclose. You know, there are times when I've done it for friends. Then sometimes I've done it for emotional reasons, and I know things are going to not be right, you know, instinctively, but I've done it because I feel, of course, for a lot of actors and for everybody, for them it is the beginning and the end. For me, my relationships and with certain people. And so I have done it. So that's not correct. Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of feeling people sometimes have because I put in so much of effort in every role I do. and I try to do my best to my capacity. But otherwise, there are films which I've done. I don't want to mention those films, but I've done it for various financial reasons, for emotional reasons, and for various reasons I've done it. Yeah. For certain times, a filmmaker I admire and respect, and I've blindly done the films, and I trusted them, and I've done it, and sometimes even not really going into the detail of the script, and I've done it because I trust that filmmaker. I've done it, yeah, and I do it, and I'm sure I'll do it in the future also. I always say I will not do it, but I'm going to do it, and I've taken those kind of punts, and because my intention is also good, so always those punts have come out. Most of the time, I've hit the jackpot with that.
I absolutely loved Night Manager, Anil sir. और यही चीज़ जैसे अगर हम एनिमल की बात करें, एक जो आपके अंदर एक बहुत ही यूनिक सी एक एबिलिटी है टू इंटरनलाइज दैट यू सीम टू एब्जॉर्ब the character and the scene so much that when you erupt, for example, it's something that surprises the audience each time. And I think for an actor to do it time and again, I think is a fantastic quality, and it shows the sort of जो आपके अंदर खुद के अंदर शिद्दत है कि कुछ नया करने की, ऑडियंस को सरप्राइज करने का. ये इंटरनलाइजेशन का आपका प्रोसेस क्या है और अपने ऑडियंस को सरप्राइज करना आपके लिए कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है?
I have to, I tell you, it's a process I enjoy. And in one lifetime I get an option to live so many lives. At least I try to do that, and and I've been watching a lot of interviews of a lot of actors. Like I saw DiCaprio's interview, and lately, and he's 49 years old, and he says, I said, when are you going to, have you, you're 49, do you ever think of retiring? I said, no, yeah, I just love my work so much. I don't know. I'll keep on working as much as I can. And then I saw Brando's interview, and just recently, and where he's talking about acting. Like he says he's getting interviewed, and you feel even you're acting at the moment. You're taking my interview. There is a certain, you're doing acting. It's not that there are so many things which are running in your mind, but you're trying to be very cool and calm. But otherwise, there are so many times time, barabar shoot ho raha hai, double color ho raha hai. So that kind of, you have a demeanor which is very, that you're very calm, but under there is a lot of machinery which is working, but actually you're acting. In real life, you tell so many lies in real life, in relationships, you're acting, So I was really fascinated with that interview. And of course, we also do that, but we have to sometimes repeat those things, and keep on repeating that, one thing, you all have to do something for once, but and sometimes same thing we have to do again and again. That's where the craft comes. But otherwise, in real life, everybody's acting. And then what we try to do in the younger generation and the audience today wants it to make it as real as possible. People are loving larger than life thing. There are certain different kind of films, but I feel the youngsters are connecting to performances and acting, which is slightly more believable at the moment. Yeah.
तबस्सुम जी के इंटरव्यू में आपने और ये भी जिक्र किया था कि दैट आप अपने बच्चों से आप बहुत करीब हैं, एंड एट द रिस्क ऑफ मे बी अपसेटिंग योर वाइफ एज वेल. All three of your kids, they've come across very, very nicely. They're doing so well. I'm personally, I'm a huge fan of Sonam Kapoor.
Thank you.
ना सिर्फ उनकी एक्टिंग के, बट आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि वो एक बहैसियत इंसान बहुत कमाल की इंसान है. मुझे लगता है कि फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में इस किस्म के ह्यूमेन और ऑनेस्ट आई थिंक लोग बहुत ही रेयर हैं. So I think it's entirely your upbringing.
No, absolutely. I feel very proud of her because, matter of fact, I had the opportunity to meet the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and the first thing he asked me is about Sonam, and he said he was with Putin Saab, and he said that I mentioned that about Sonam, so I felt really good. Whoever I meet, when I met, I was with Gauri that day, Shah Rukh and Gauri, and her friends and all. So they also were saying such good things about Sonam, that she's pure, she's honest, and she's gutsy, and she doesn't have any. She's not it's not politics, she stands by what is true, what she feels, is at that moment is right. And she says it, and sometimes she gets into trouble because of that, but she says it, and that's how she is,
Absolutely. Anil sir, any thoughts on Sandeep Vengareddy, the sort of director that he is?
Well, it takes time to really understand him, and but he's one of the most hardworking, passionate filmmaker. Among all the best filmmakers I've worked with, I would rate him among the top filmmakers I've worked with the kind of dedication, the kind of passion he has towards his work. And what he does, which is beautiful, is that he'll make characters which are relatable, but every scene, when you go and watch on this, when he writes and comes, he writes in Telugu obviously and English, and then the dialogue is translated and he has a knowledge of Hindi also. So if you see the music of Animal also, like Bhushanji was telling me, that every song in this film I have not contributed. Every song is his music, and every scene what you see has been conceived by him, and so it's a very rare thing to find in especially for an Indian filmmaker, because music is such an important thing, emotion is so important. So he has all these kind of combination, and he thinks always out of the box, which is great,
Anil sir, we've taken a few comments on the YouTube link of Animal theatrical trailer. Some amazing comments for you. I just wanted to read out to you and get your thoughts. So this is Danish Dhasi, and he's saying, honestly, I'm blown away with the trailer. Such a contrast father role from Jug Jug Jio. Anil sir in the trailer is really looking good, and seeing both him and Ranbir as father-son duo will be really exciting to watch.
Yeah, he's right. Completely different from Jug Jug Jio. Completely different from Dil Dhadakne Do. And that's why I said, in this film, that's one of the reasons that I think I'm fortunate that all the three roles are completely different. Jug Jug Jio, Dil Dhadakne Do, and now Animal. Yeah, it's completely different. Yeah, it'll be fun. Wait and watch.
Right.
1st December.
So this is Raghav Seth. The first scene is duly felt. Sandeep, it haunts you, disturbs you, destroys all the positive memories you have with your father, and when you get the first glimpse at Anil Kapoor's character, it puts you right back to your suffering, because at the end of the day you can't confront your dad like that, and this is just fiction. This one scene I'm scared to watch as well as eager to witness at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah, obviously, but I agree with Raghav that it is fiction and it is cinema, so you have to just go and treat it as cinema. In real life, these things very rarely can, father-son relationships. I don't know about where this kind of things, but there is, it is somewhere. I think people will be able to connect with it, because their characters are so relatable, and of course, it really helped because me and Ranbir discussed a lot about his relationship with his father, and which because he also feels that he could have spent more time, and my relationship with my son is also different from a regular relationship. There are times when I also feel that we are friends, but there are times when there is a conflict. So these things happen, and of course vice versa also, to certain extent, my relationship with my father, and both of us have lost our fathers, like Ranbir has lost his father, I've lost my father. So obviously even I feel that I should have spent more time with my dad. And there are so many things I wanted to share, and so many things we could not, which I felt he was doing wrong, but I couldn't really tell him. you know. And I'm sure he must be also feeling certain things I'm doing wrong, but he couldn't tell me, you know. Or he could, but I couldn't sometimes. I don't know. So all these mixed things are there. That's the reason I think somewhere I think the film is connecting with people. You know, there are certain real memories which we try to put in our performances.
Right.
In
Right.
Animal, yeah.
Sir, this is Aryan Paji. After watching this trailer, I can't imagine Anil sir doing such a serious character with such dedication.
Yeah, I was just speaking to Jalal, my manager. I said, "Yaar, I said, abhi Animal or Fighter ke baad, I think I should do a comedy because both are obviously both are totally different roles, but they are a little serious and dramatic, you know, which is always great for, you know, when an actor gets an opportunity to do, and then they look forward to seeing you in a comedy also because people love seeing me in comedies. So I'm looking forward to a good comedy. Hopefully I'll do it, but I don't know. There are certain projects which have come to me now are also very, very dramatic and they're really scripts which I'm really excited about. Something which I've never done. Yeah.
Like a no entry sequel?
I don't want to say anything till they really start, you know, because I feel whatever you want to do, I think you have to be very sure when and what is going to start, and then otherwise the film loses its magic. So
All
I
right.
think you'll come to know very soon. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So this is Love Rafe. As a person who has major daddy issues, the trailer itself was very emotional. The things that we do for our father's validation and do keep their happiness. Nothing matters more.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I wanted to become an actor because my father was a producer, and I was motivated that he doesn't have to go. There should be an actor in the family. There should be a star in the family, and that really motivated me to work harder. So these things are there. You want your father's validation. You want to see your father happy, and vice versa. And every son wants that kind of validation from his father, and there is always that conflict is always there. And both have different ways of doing things, and so that's it. Yeah.
So this is Rahul. My father is still my hero, someone I look up to and look for validation. He also had temper issues, but we still lived through it. Father and son relationship is the most underrated relationship in the world.
Well, for Indian cinema, it's been fantastic, you know. All father-son films have been really, have stood the test of time. They're well made. So I hope even this film stands the test of time and people like it.
Anilji, what is your favorite father-son story in Bollywood, in the Hindi film industry?
I think nothing can surpass Mughal Azam. Nothing can surpass that film. That's my most favoriteest film of father-son. And both Yusuf Saab and Papa Ji, that is Dilip Kumar and Tiraj Kapoor Saab, were exceptional, unforgettable. And even after 100 years, it's almost more than I don't know how many years now. My father was an assistant, for K. Asif, and there's so many memories of that film. And Asif Saab made the film. It's I can see that film again and again. Yeah. And the first thing when I met Wanga Saab, I said, please revisit these films like Shakti and Mughal Azam. These films, revisit them. They are really great films, and all of them were wonderful. Shakti was brilliantly written by Salim Javed Saab, unbelievably performed, fabulously directed by Ramesh Sippy. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is the last one. This is Lakhan Fateh Chandani.
Wow, nice name.
Anil Kapoor, Ranbir Kapoor, Bobby Deol, Sandeep Venga. Super hit director, brilliant actors, good music. This movie gives so much chills.
Yeah, fingers crossed, 1st December.
Fingers crossed, 1st December. Anil sir, I understand that you are extremely busy, but thank you very much for your time. Always hugely inspirational and lovely talking to you. Looking forward to December 1st, and we'll surely talk once the movie is श्योर शॉट ब्लॉकबस्टर. बहुत रेयरली होता है कि इतना कॉन्फिडेंस होता है. आई थिंक मुझे इतना कॉन्फिडेंस होता है कि ये पिक्चर बहुत ज़्यादा, I think it's going to be a huge success. But Anil sir, my question to you, are you a box office person?
No. I think that's my somewhere been my one of the biggest reasons of me doing all kinds of various different roles.
Right.
And and of course for my longevity. What happens is when there is a upside to be box office oriented, so you can keep on repeating what people want to see you in, and the downside is that people might get bored watching you do the same thing again and again, and I feel that I always believed in the marathon, which is because I want to work as much as I can. So to be in the marathon, you have to take risks and be ready to fail. And that's the way you fall down in a marathon. It's a long journey, and that's what you do different roles, work with different filmmakers, and take those risks, and that's what I've done, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing. So for me, it's the character, it's the role, and the people who I'm working with. And the journey has to be wonderful. I've never followed commerce in my life. I've done my best, and by the grace of God, commerce has followed me.
Of course, of course. Anil sir, there's so many questions that I have in mind, but I understand that you have an extremely busy schedule. Thank you very much, and please keep on rocking. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.